This is Ross Feingold on the Taiwan Hashtag program, coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan, hosted by Store Media. Today we're going to be talking about Mang Guo Gan. What is Mang Guo Gan? Yes, it means dried mango in Mandarin. Very popular snack here in Taiwan. In fact, Taiwan, it's made in Taiwan. Taiwan Mang Guo Gan, dried mango. Why is this relevant to Taiwan politics in the upcoming presidential election? Excellent question, and here is the answer. Let's look at the Mandarin and the English pinyin, the romanization. Wang Guo Gan, it literally means forget the country or the country's going to disappear. Mang Guo Gan, it is the dried fruit. One starts with a W, one starts with an M, but they sound very similar, especially when politicians are screaming it out at their opponents. They're saying, you're responsible for Wang Guo Gan, and you're responsible for Mang Guo Gan. What does this all mean? Why is this so popular for politicians to say? What's the history here? Who is accusing who of doing it? Well, it has to go to the core of the identification issue here in Taiwan. What country is it? The official name, as our viewers know, is the Republic of China. The government here has recently taken to calling it more frequently Republic of China Taiwan, Republic of China on Taiwan, which is a departure from the past practice of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party of President Tsai, Ing-wen, which also has a majority in the legislative yuan. They used to focus on Taiwan. This is the political party that historically has supported independence for Taiwan, formal independence, changing the name, getting rid of the Republic of China name, getting rid of the Republic of China Constitution, and changing the name to something like the Republic of Taiwan or the Republic of Formosa, Taiwan Republic, the state of Taiwan, but getting rid of the Republic of China. All that history, Sun Yat-sen, Chiang Kai-shek, Jiang Jingguo, the government that came over from China at the end of the Civil War in 1949 when the nationalists lost the Civil War to the communists. People's Republic of China was established by Mao Zedong. They just had their 70th anniversary with the big parade in Beijing. So who wants to get rid of the Republic of China? Who wants to get rid of Taiwan? That's why this debate has been going on in the last few months. From the Democratic Progressive Party perspective, the perspective of the President Tsai's political party, what they're saying is if Han Kuo-yu wins the election because he favors closer relations with China, he might enter some kind of peace agreement. Maybe he even favors one country, two systems, although he's denied it, but that's the accusation from his opponents. They say, or he'll sign some kind of peace agreement with the People's Republic of China. He's going to be responsible for the destruction of Taiwan as we know it today, being an independent country with human rights, freedom of speech, and all those great things. Wang Guo Gan. So the DPP side of politics in Taiwan, or people who support Taiwan independence, separation formally from China, getting rid of the Republic of China name and constitution, they say if Han Kuo-yu of the Kuomintang, because he favors better relations with China, if he is elected president, it will destroy the country. That's going to be this Wang Guo Gan that they're talking about, not Mang Guo Gan, the dried fruit. However, from a Kuomintang perspective, let's look at it from the other perspective. They're saying, look, Tsai Ing-wen and the Democratic Progressive Party, they don't really support the Republic of China. They sometimes mention it, and they're doing it increasingly this year during this period because there's an election upcoming. But we all know, from the Kuomintang perspective, they're saying we all know that the DPP and President Tsai, they don't really support the existence of the Republic of China. They say the Republic of China is a colonial alien regime that occupied the island of Formosa, Taiwan, at the end of World War II, and then transferred its government to Taipei when they lost the Civil War to the communists in 1949. But they're trying to get rid of the Republic of China. Again, this is the Kuomintang perspective. So they're saying, look, if Tsai Ing-wen is reelected and Democratic Progressive Party or parties that share similar views enter the legislative yuan, they're going to pursue policies that will ultimately result in the end of the Republic of China. Again, that would be the Wang Guo Gan that they're talking about from the Kuomintang perspective, where they're saying if Tsai Ing-wen is reelected in 2020, she serves another 4 years, it could mean the end of the Republic of China. And what do they cite as examples of that? Well, recently there were several countries that had formal diplomatic relations with the Republic of China. Solomon Islands, Kiribati being the most recent examples. They de-recognize the Republic of China. They recognize the People's Republic of China. So again, we got the Kuomintang candidate or the Kuomintang party. They're saying, look, if Tsai Ing-wen continues to be president, it's going to result in this Wang Guo, the end of the Republic of China. So don't vote for her, vote for us, because we're going to keep this country. So we see that both parties going back and forth, they're accusing the other of being responsible for either this feeling that the country is disappearing or that the country will disappear if the other side is elected. Of course, this is all very interesting due to the play on words because it sounds a lot like the name of the dried fruit. But how do voters really feel about this? Well, you ask a lot of voters here in Taiwan, which we've done, even asked the crew here at Storm, what do you think about this? And a lot of voters I've discovered, they're not even sure what it really means. They're not sure who's accusing who of potentially causing the destruction of the country. They're not sure who's really responsible for causing us not to feel strongly about the country. Look, most Taiwanese people are really proud of being Taiwanese. We know in the last few months with China's increasing bullying of Taiwan in the international space, the events in Hong Kong, Taiwan people feel very strongly about their identity as being separate from the People's Republic of China. This is really not in dispute that Taiwan is a separate political entity at this point. Do people want to get rid of the Republic of China? Do they want to establish a Republic of Taiwan? It seems like there's no rush for that, even though some voters, small percentage, might prefer that. So actually, this seems to be something that's more for politicians to be sniping back and forth at each other who's responsible for this. It's not something that is really attracting a lot of voter understanding. In fact, there are several recent polls that asked, well, if Tsai Ing-wen she loses the election, if the Kuomintang is elected president, does that mean that this Wang Guo Gan, this destruction of the country, is going to happen? And actually, the numbers that said yes were small. It was only in the low 20s. That means only in the low 20s felt that if Han Kuo-yu is elected, it's going to be really, really bad for Taiwan's status. So it seems that the DPP, when they're accusing Han Kuo-yu of being a president, if he's elected, that will cause the destruction or the disappearance of the country, they may have overplayed their hand. But from the other perspective, when the question was asked, if Han Kuo-yu loses the election, that means if Tsai Ing-wen is elected president, does that mean this Wang Guo Gan is going to come into reality? So again, the question asked to the voters was, if Tsai Ing-wen wins, if Han Kuo-yu loses, so you have a president who's not as enthusiastic, Tsai Ing-wen, not as enthusiastic about talking about the Republic of China and saying that this country's name is the Republic of China, which Han Kuo-yu would if he's elected. So the question again, if Han Kuo-yu loses to Tsai Ing-wen, is this Wang Guo Gan, this feeling of the country disappearing, is that important? The numbers were even lower. It was only in the low teens that said, yeah, that's something that might come into reality. What does that tell us? Well, it seems that the voters are not worried that Tsai Ing-wen is trying to do away with the Republic of China. The voters seem confident that whether she's calling it Republic of China or she's calling it Taiwan, that the country itself is not going to disappear. So it's actually consistent with her very strong poll numbers. So it seems the Kuomintang trying to say, oh, don't elect Tsai, because if you elect Tsai, if she's reelected, if Han Kuo-yu loses, the country is going to disappear. This feeling of what the country is, we're going to lose it and we might get swallowed up by China. So it's not working for the Kuomintang. It's not working for the Kuomintang. Meanwhile, the politicians keep saying it towards each other. They keep accusing the other side of being responsible for this feeling that the people here in Taiwan, they don't know what country they're part of. They're not sure. They're worried about the future of the country, or they don't even know what country name to use. In reality, don't believe it, I would say, at least not for now. Maybe in the next 2 months, one of the politicians running for president might make a stronger case for their opponent, leading to this outcome. But as of now, it seems that this talking point, although it's getting a lot of media attention, the pundits on the TV talk shows are talking about it. The people running for office are talking about it. They're holding press conferences accusing their opponent for being responsible for it. It's not connecting with the voters. Han Kuo-yu, if you think it's going to work for you and help you get reelected, not working. You better find something else to talk about real fast, because your poll numbers are still way behind President Tsai Ing-wen. So let's take a quick review again. We have Wang Guo Gan and Mang Guo Gan. Wang Guo Gan is this feeling that the country is disappearing, destruction of the country. We don't know its name. Each side is saying, well, if the other person gets elected, this is what the cause is going to be. We're not going to know who we are as a country anymore. And the DPP says Han Kuo-yu is responsible for that because he's too close to China. The Kuomintang says Tsai Ing-wen is responsible for that because she's not enthusiastic about the Republic of China. And it's funny, it's a play on words, because Wang Guo Gan sounds so much like Mang Guo Gan, which are these things, the dried mango fruit that is so popular here in Taiwan, available everywhere, convenience stores, supermarkets. Just bought this bag downstairs at our local convenience store before we recorded the show. Wang Guo Gan and Mang Guo Gan. For those who speak Mandarin or are trying to learn Mandarin, trying to understand Taiwan politics, it's a talking point you should be familiar with as the election season proceeds to voting day on January 11th, 2020. I'm Ross Feingold, and you've been watching Taiwan Hashtag on Storm Media.